kick it off. So there we see Danielle. Let's go.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, and thank you very much for joining our webinar today. This is going to review the Acumatica 2020 R2, so it's our launch and a recap of everything that is new and wonderful in the latest release of 2020 R2. So today we've got as our presenters Murray Quibell. He is the president of Aqurus. We have Danielle Kerner joining us today from Acumatica. She is our partner account manager. We work very closely with Danielle on many things, and she's very key to our success and to all of our success. So welcome, Danielle, and thank you for joining us. And we have Samantha Knighton DeForge. She's our business solutions specialist. I'll be your moderator today. My name is Brenda Mowbray. So I'd like to turn it over to Danielle.
Great, thanks, Brenda. Can everybody hear me okay?
Sure can.
Oh, sorry, Brenda, we'll just go through the agenda here quickly here.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yes, sorry, the slide hadn't changed, so I forgot. So today's agenda is the introductions, which we've just gone through. Then Danielle's going to talk a little bit about Acumatica and some of the key messages that we always want to leave our customers with and our potential customers and anyone that's on this call today. It's an incredible company, and I think you'll be impressed with the message that Danielle leaves us with. We're going to turn it over to Samantha then. She's going to go through some of the basics around continuous improvement, which is something that is near and dear to the people on this phone, the Aqurus team for sure, and Acumatica. Murray will review some of the highlights of 2020 R2, and then we're going to go into key highlights and a product demonstration for about 15 minutes. At the end, we're going to have a discussion, and we invite all of you to either ask questions live. We'll work on unmuting you at that time, or you can use the chat and chat to the panelists and other members. So again, I'll turn it over to Danielle for an Acumatica introduction.
Okay, well, great. Thanks, Brenda. I appreciate it. And with so much in the agenda, I'm really going to try to keep this to just a handful of minutes. But as Brenda indicated, I am what we refer to as a partner account manager at Acumatica, but really I'm on the Aqurus team is how I feel in a lot of ways. We work extremely closely. I talk to Aqurus multiple times a week. And for those of you who may not know, don't have a lot of experience with ERP, it's a really unusual situation. And it was a big draw for me in terms of shifting over to work for Acumatica. Their dedication to their customers by way of their partners is really unlike any other in the industry. Partners work with customers. They are kind of an island. They don't have the support of the vendor. And your success, be it Acumatica or otherwise, is so connected to your partner and their success. So we know that it really has sort of this larger domino effect. So as I mentioned, you know, if I were to really kind of characterize more of what I do, it's on Team Aqurus and supporting them in support of their customers on an everyday basis virtually. But with kind of taking a step back and looking at Acumatica as a business and sort of a larger perspective, what we have been doing for the last decade is developing a cloud solution that helps companies move from, you know, what is today certainly a digital environment. Nobody's, you know, really running an analog business any longer, but on a variety of disparate systems, nothing really connected, and no single, what we refer to as source of truth. And so if you move to the next slide, that single source of truth enables our customers to run a connected business. Our platform is an open platform, so we can enable rapid integrations, remote collaboration. We are what we refer to as business resilience and future-proof. I'll focus on just business resilience for a second. We have been beating this drum for years, and COVID hit, and we no longer had to beat the drum. Being business resilient really came into focus for everybody. Our customers turned their computers off at their place of business one day and turned them on at their home and did not miss a single beat because their business system, the thing that runs their business, the heartbeat of their company, was running in the cloud. Anybody can access it with a internet connection anytime. And it really, again, it's not anything we would have wished for, but it absolutely drove home that point. And so unsolicited, we've gotten a lot of really great feedback from our customers and a lot of new customers as a result of that. Next slide. So a couple of other things that make us unique is our focus on not just our partners and working with them on a very close basis. Unlike anybody else in the industry, we focus on customer satisfaction. And this is also kind of a product of the industry. It's been really easy for our competitors to absolutely neglect their customers. Once you implement ERP, it's something that you're going to live with for a long time. It's not a small endeavor. So you want to make sure you've got the right partner, the right vendor, and that vendor is focused on how well you like the application. So these are just some of the awards. And the ones that we're most proud of are the ones that rank us highly with customer satisfaction and usability. Next slide. And the last thing I want to talk about, again, a unique attribute, I guess, with Acumatica is how customer focused we are. We have something that is unlike anybody else. I was blown away when I saw that we had this. It's called a customer bill of rights. In the ERP space, the customer has no rights. You are absolutely at the mercy of the vendor. And in our world, we want to, it's an opportunity for us, truthfully. It's an opportunity for us to help customers, regain their footing with their ERP software vendor and feel that they have some rights, some voice, some ability to alter how they work with the solution, how they work with the partner and the vendor. I won't go through each one of these, but they're all unique and super critical, I think, to a customer. If you're looking to partner with an ERP software vendor and partner, Aqurus and Acumatica are the only ones that will have this out there. And one of the things I'll point out is we will never increase your costs more than 3% year over year. Any other software vendor won't put anything in writing. And what they will do is increase your cost by potentially double digits. And it is difficult at the very least to budget for and potentially very difficult to afford. Access to your data that belongs to you at all times. There are other software cloud, in particular, software vendors who in the fine print, you don't own your data, they own your data. So make sure that you own your data. And another thing I think is really unique about Acumatica and really important is we partner with best in breed. And to deliver our SaaS solution, we partner with the Amazon EC2 cloud environment. And that's not here in the Bill of Rights, but I want to point that out. I think it's really important to understand where your environment will be hosted. So with that, hopefully I kept it under a handful of minutes. Thank you again, Brenda and Aqurus, for inviting me. I'm going to turn things over to Samantha.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thanks, Danielle. Yeah, it's always great to have such a close relationship with your mothership, so to speak. And I know that Danielle touched on a lot of points, and I think majority of the Aqurus team has worked with a variety of different products. We've all come from different channels, and we have Acumatica current Aqurus customers on the line right now. We have people who are also exploring the solution right now, and then of course we have partners. So I think the one centralized message that Acumatica has is always continuous improvement. We are not representing a predatory vendor. This is why Acumatica is so much better. 74% of their staff is in research and development. They're not paying for targeted ads. They're not paying for sales ads. They are putting everything back into the product, which also is great that we have the opportunity to have these, semi-annual webinars and show you the new features to help you guys day to day. Yes, and you can see that I have made a header on the Acumatica website. That is me there. But they have introduced the Acumatica community as well, which enables our customers to have open discussions, suggest enhancements for the product by submitting product ideas. They have facilitated user groups, enabling the customer and the Acumatica customer base to sort of do exactly what it says, create and build an Acumatica community. So you can work with fellow businesses, suggest product enhancements, and then discuss your business and maybe find better ways to do things. So this is one of the new things that Acumatica has released as of recent, and we're very excited about it. So if you are interested to the Acumatica community, for our customers on the line, reach out to us and we'll certainly help you get facilitated on there for the time being. Of course, if you're a current Aqurus customer, you've seen this. If you're not yet, you might have seen this. We always focus on usability, and that's exactly what Danielle just mentioned. Acumatica is not focused around, throwing useless technology. It's current technology. When we say web-based, true cloud, accessible from any device in the world, any computer in the world, and you do not need remote desktop connections. You're not locally installing software. And as a result, that's an aspect of why Acumatica is ranked so high on the usability scheme. Not only is it so easy to use, we've had customers self-implement even in certain aspects of the business of their businesses. But when we talk about usability, it's about making your life easier day to day. Certain things and triggers that certain systems do can get really annoying. They can get daunting. Acumatica is always putting back into the product to ensure usability is at its highest priority. And in the demonstration that I'll be doing today, I'll show you some of the new usability features that Acumatica has released that will hopefully make your life easier day in and day out. When we talk about, leading the market, we're leading on the usability, factor. We're always ranked fairly high, but we're also considered one of the most solid ERP solutions for the mid-market as far as an emotional footprint goes. We see Oracle's, got a really nice high end there, but that's also a tier 1 enterprise solution. As far as the mid-market goes, this is our bread and butter. This is what they're good at. And there's a reason why we are the fastest cloud ERP company and growing.
Okay, thanks, Samantha. We talked about continuous improvement a little bit in the context of Acumatica. At Aqurus, this is what, if anyone has hung out with me very much, you hear me say this almost every day and with every presentation and podcast we do. So what continuous improvement means with Aqurus is that when we implement an ERP system, or if we look at enhancements and things like that, it's not a point in time. So what it is we help you get to a level playing field, but then it doesn't stop there. So for us, it's how can we help you be more efficient every day? How can the system help you make money every day, whether that's through more customers or selling more product to your existing customers or using the data to help you gain a competitive advantage every day? That's what we think about, and that's the path that we want to lead you, so that this stuff really does make you money every single day. A little bit about Acumatica Releases. Again, we're going to get into some product demonstrations of 2020 R2 new features, but just we take a step back. Acumatica has 2 major product releases every year. That's something that they've settled on over the last few years. And the one that came out earlier in the year was 2020 R1, and now we're featuring 2020 R2. Again, we're not going to show you everything here today. So there is a lot of new features and there's a lot to learn here. There's lots of resources that we have both on our website and on acumatica.com, but particularly on our YouTube channel. We've gotten Samantha particularly has created a lot of different videos that show some of these features in a lot more detail. So I encourage you to have a look there. So speaking of which, here are all the Acumatica 2020 R2 highlights that we're going to demonstrate for you today. Just kidding, of course. There's a lot.
Don't have that much time.
That's why I featured those other resources, because there is a lot here. A couple things I'm going to call out here is that, again, usability, that's something that Acumatica thinks about every day. What kind of workflows can help you in your day? What kind of little widgets or things, connectivity pieces can we help you with to get done tasks a little bit quicker? Samantha will show you some of those. On the financial side, a couple of things that we'll probably highlight in the coming session. There's a couple of interesting things on banking enhancements, and some of those are not quite available in Canada yet, so we'll probably feature that stuff in the new year a little bit. Technology, Acumatica is always pushing the boundaries of technology to adopt new emerging areas such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, things like that, Internet of Things. Those are things, again, that we think about every day, and how can we use technology to our advantage to improve a little bit every day. A few other things that I'll call out around manufacturing, the quality control, there's a few enhancements there, but the commerce one that Samantha will be looking at particularly is we're very excited about the Shopify e-commerce connector, and that's of course very relevant in Canada, as Shopify is the #1 e-commerce engine here. So these are the areas that Samantha's going to get involved in. So we've chosen what we consider the top 5, and again, there's a lack of them, but we're just going to do top 5s. So with dashboards, Samantha's going to show some usability around that. Recent history, again, how might you navigate the system a little bit better? CRM enhancements, showing a little address lookup widget that they've introduced. Shopify, which I talked about, and AP automation and document recognition. So behind the scenes, Acumatica is leveraging an AI engine that is really excited how we can just start to scratch the surface of that. So with that, I'll turn it over to Samantha for the get into the details of the product. Now, these are going to be live. I'll stop share. This is going to be a live and interactive demonstrations, mostly live, and then we'll have an interactive discussion after. So just so you know, we're running a live platform, and I'll turn it over to you, Sam.
Yeah, just to make sure you guys can all see my screen. We're good to go. All right, cool. So here we see the Acumatica solution. One of the biggest things being that, yes, we are hitting a website. We are using a URL. It's available on any browser. I know for our customers, it's not really big news. Probably usually one of the biggest reasons they do purchase it. But as far as I just want to talk about this demonstration today, really going to emphasize on the usability aspect, why it's making your lives easier. A couple of really cool, neat tips and tricks for both the technical people, the not so technical people. And then, yes, like Marie mentioned, I know the existing customers that I see currently on the phone and on the line here, you have been waiting and waiting for several years or several months, whatever it might be. You saw B2b Commerce come out in April. Shopify is finally here. No need now to keep building that car in your backyard. It's here. The development can stop. We can talk about getting that Commerce Edition put in place. If you haven't already reached out to us, I know several of you have already, to get eagerly involved in that native integration and really enhance and automate those bidirectional syncs. So with that being said, here we can see, obviously, one of the dashboards, several of which are available in our demo system. I will be toggling between 2 different environments today. This is a new system, even for me. You know, it's a new release. There's new data. They decided to update, I think, a lot of the demo data as well. So bear with me while we kind of walk through some of the things here. Obviously, here I'm on the management dashboard. The other dashboards that we see here, as far as shipping clerks, purchasing dashboards, all easily accessible to the majority. I have favorited the management dashboard because it's what I'll be using here today. So when we drill back into this management dashboard, the one thing that Acumatica has enhanced as far as usability goes is modifying generic inquiries. And this is where I want to start. Queries, as we know in Acumatica, are very easy to manipulate. They're built for the daily user. They're not made for an extensive SQL developer. So we're really happy about that initially. So here we can see a sales profitability and analysis report. Of course, it has conditional highlighting, which was released in last year's edition of the 2019 R1 release. And we see that the information we need to see is popping up at us, and we can color code this as needed. So where I want to focus on today, though, is that modification and what this little tiny enhancement can really do and save you a couple of, or that irritation of having to modify a query, save it, run it, preview it, modify it, save it, preview, run it. A little bit of a feature that Acumatica has introduced to help you get a little bit more up to date. Here we can see, if you're not familiar with conditional highlighting and where to do it, it is on the style column. You can set the conditions based on colors and the parameters in this column based on the fields. Then you're going to be able to actually conditional highlight what you want to pop out at you. Some of the things, again, side panel, boom, there it is. Now we know this is available in a lot of different aspects of the system, but it's really, really great because it's available in generic inquiries. And I even know back in my consulting days, running queries and modifying them was kind of a pain in your Aunt Petunia. This is sort of built to make it a little bit easier. So as you modify and work with this query and save it, the side panel will update and be modified. So just as a quick example, we see this unit price here being displayed because it's under our results grid here. So I'm just going to delete this. I'll save this query quickly. And what's going to happen is the side panel is now going to update and modify the actual query itself and then display that as a column. Oh. And we are working in demo. So here we can see now that the unit and the currency field has now been eliminated. And as far as adding it back in, when we talk how easy it is to add these fields in, again, we've just added that. I'll save it. And what it will do is it will now modify and update the side panel again and add it back in. just a little bit of a helpful little, you know, benefit, so to speak, if you are modifying queries and generic inquiries on a day-to-day basis to simply make your life a little bit easier. The side panel is available across many different modules of the system. So here in this particular instance, I've drilled down into the accounts receivables module, and we are under invoices and memos. And I can hear my computer having a little bit of the fans kicked on. I think it's getting a little bit slow here, but here we can see again, the side panel is being opened 897. And as we proactively drill through different invoices, the invoice numbers change and you're able to quickly access the invoices. So this again was released in last year's version. So if you're not using it currently, just something for you to note. It does make drilling down into information a little bit better without having to open up so many additional tabs and just make it quickly pop out at you. So that is one of the great features of being able to have the side panel now available for you on the generic inquiry screens. In addition to this, there's probably a lot of the customers we have online here that are currently using the system. There's probably something that's sticking right out at you. I know that a lot of people use the universal search function. Acumatica has released now this button. It's a history button, and it does exactly what it says it's going to do. It references all the previous transactions and records that you've just been accessing. So here we can see some of the invoices that I've been working with, as well as the generic inquiry that we were just modifying. So it really just makes it easier to reference information when, you know, for instance, Murray walks down the hall or he calls me and says, hey, can you tell me about that invoice? Or hey, can you tell me about this particular customer? And I happen to be working in it. I can use the history button, but it also segregates and categorizes everything here on the left-hand side. So if you're looking to reference a particular project, if you're looking to reference a particular invoice, it does categorize them on the most recent transactions that you've been working with. Very, very cool. So here we don't see, I'm gonna go ahead and add, let's say we'll access a customer or something. I'll access a particular customer. Let's just say these guys, Alta Ace. We've opened up this customer profile. And now when I reference the history, I can now see that the customer profile has been updated and the new customer field has now been added to the left-hand side, making it nice and easy to filter and reference information back in the day. Okay, another aspect, this is really cool, and this is gonna hit close to home for a lot of salespeople out there. Acumatica, or let's start with the basics. Salespeople are naturally not usually into updating a CRM system. It gets really tedious. It becomes really daunting task to keep any sort of accurate information in a CRM. So the Acumatica system has done a few things. One, I'll just navigate to some leads and activities. Actually, I think I have to go into the other one. Yeah, I got to toggle to my other company. So I'll navigate to my other company. You'll notice I'm still under the leads screen, and now I'm working in a different database. And here I can see that Samantha DeForge from Aqurus Solutions has filled out a form for information from the website. However, she forgot to put her address in. Well, that's really going to be a pain in the butt for me as a salesperson now, because now I have to go to Google, find the address, populate it, copy and paste manually. However, don't have to do that anymore with the newest feature, which is called an address lookup, where I'm able to integrate this with any sort of map integration or API, whether it's Google, Bing, Yahoo. We're integrated with Google as of right now. So I'll just type in the company name, Aqurus Solutions. Look, there they are. Yep, that's our office. I'll hit select, and I see that the address has now auto-populated into this particular lead, and all the information that was missing has been populated. Very cool, makes it a little bit easier for your sales staff to modify and keep their CRM systems up to date. However, this is also available on the customer profiles. So if we go to our customer profiles, I'll be able to drill into a customer, let's say the same one we were using in the past, and let's say this particular customer happened to change their address. So again, I can click on address lookup. I'll just type in Aqurus Solutions again. Here I can see that's the office that they're now located in. I'll select, and everything's been modified accordingly. So just a couple of different features as far as usability goes, making your lives a little bit easier day in and day out. So
and a lot more accurate.
Pardon?
And a lot more accurate.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think it really helps the salespeople for sure, because I know that copying and pasting those postal codes is not a very, very good time.
Yeah.
Not for anybody, right? Perfect. Okay. I know, again, lots of you have been waiting for this. It's finally here. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. Commerce. We are now natively integrated with Shopify. This now means there is no more extensive development. The integrations now exist out of the box. There's no maintenance on them. There's no servers or hosting required for them. It exists. So when we talk about commerce, and like I said, this is a fairly new system. We haven't been playing around with it too much, but I will be recording some specific Shopify videos to demonstrate, and I can share those most certainly with anyone who might want to see that actual process flow. The commerce integration exists primarily with BigCommerce in April, and now the exact same integration exists with Shopify as of September 16th, which also happens to be my birthday. So thank you, Acumatica. These are the places that Acumatica has now integrated with Shopify. It's the same kind of syncs, and we've got 3 different types of syncs. We've got bidirectional, export, and import. There's a couple of reasons as to why. Of course, we don't really need to export sales orders out of Acumatica to the commerce site, but we most certainly need them to be imported from the Shopify site. So that natural flow will happen. It's a real-time integration. Same thing with updating stock items. So if you're updating your inventory or your items in the actual Acumatica system, the process will reflect directly on the Shopify site. It is a nice integration that exists. There's no need to reinvent this. This is standard with the Commerce Edition. A couple of other things too is it includes template items. Some of you are using this, some of you are looking at using it, or some of you don't use it. It's for matrix inventory. So if you do have a single product that carries a lot of different variables or variations, attributes, things like that, they do also reflect directly onto the Shopify integration on the website. Same thing, customer profiles. Couple of different things. I can list these all off, but these are the native integrations that now exist. So I know, again, I can't stress this enough. It's huge news for us. We know that ERP solutions in commerce are usually disconnected, and the fact that Acumatica was able to do this, and as a birthday present to me, was fabulous for sure. So if you are interested in it and haven't looked at it quite in depth yet, these are the integration points that exist. They do carry a little bit more gravity as far as description goes, attributes go, item classes goes, and things like that, all being able to be categorized on the Shopify website. So
and that's a real-time integration.
It is real time, yes, and that is the best part of it. And there's no more manual exporting or uploading any of that, right? So
batch releases, those kinds of
things. Exactly. I know. Why build a car in your why buy a car when you can build one in your backyard, right? So yes, I know a lot of our customers are very excited about that. One of the last things that I want to conclude on is a finance enhancement, so to speak. Well, actually more on the payables side. We do know that the payables department have often encountered the short end of the stick as far as data entry goes. They've always been forced to still have to manually enter in those invoices into the system once they've even been received by mail or if they've been received by email. Fortunately enough, if they've been received by email and you happen to be running Outlook, this is going to be really cool for you. Some of you guys may have seen this. So here you see that I have an invoice that I've sent to myself because why not? That just seems like a really good idea. And the Acumatica plugin here at the top of my Outlook screen. So the Acumatica system has naturally always had creating contacts and lead abilities directly from email, but now they have the create AP document functionality. And this is one of the biggest wow features, I think, well, second next to the Shopify integration, but this has been a really big kicker for a lot of people as far as the functionality behind it. So what this is doing is they've kicked off this AP creation document through the Outlook plugin. The document recognition is in process at this point in time, which means that the Acumatica system is using artificial intelligence and machine learning together to read the PDF that I have sent myself. Now, this does take about 30 seconds for it to happen, and we can see that it's already been recognized. And it scans the document, reads it, and populates the fields into an AP bill. I'm not even joking. So when we go to view this document, we'll click maximize just to see the screen a little bit better. It's toggled between the user and the company that I'm working with that is already set up. And here we can see that it's pulled my invoice, and I've left this invoice in this particular instance because I want to mention a few things. It has populated the vendor reference, it's populated the post and the dates, it's populated the item, the quantities, and the unit costs. However, it has not populated the vendor. And if it hasn't, that's fine. We can either search it or we can just be really cool, click on the vendor tab, directly click on the PDF, at which point it will populate all of the missing information into this AP bill where we can save it and then continue to fulfill it forward. Now, in addition to this, if you happen to receive an invoice in the context where it was mailed to you, you do have the ability to also drag and drop the feature and the invoice directly onto the screen. And I'm just going to go back and delete this because it does scan for duplicates. And if I tried to drag and drop it again, it would actually say, hey, you already have something like this going on. So I'm going to go back into my incoming documents. That's where it's under the payables module, under transactions. So I'm going to go into, actually, I'm going to do this through the other interface because it's easier. And I'll go into the other company where this is enabled. And I'll go under payables, incoming documents here. And oh, I thought I deleted it already. Yes, I want to delete it. Thank you, Acumatica. I wonder why that's not deleting. Oh, there we go. Just need to be toggled. So here we can see that I don't have anything incoming. I've deleted that invoice that I've synced through the actual Outlook plugin. I have the exact same one here sitting on my desktop. So I'll drag it and drop it onto the window. And again, it will populate into the window and then be finished and be further deployed. But if you do have any questions as far as any usability or functionality goes in the newest release, these are sort of the more top of the line features that we wanted to focus on. But if you do have any questions about Shopify by any chance, or if you do have any questions about setting up AP document recognition, anything like that to streamline payables a bit better, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or Murray or Brenda or whoever it might be. But that's our product demonstration for today.
Thank you, Samantha. You showed a whole bunch of very interesting facets of the new release and some of the facets that have come out in previous releases, but I do see a lot of really cool things there. Murray, do you have a few words to wrap it up, or do we want to move right into the discussion?
I have a barking dog in my house, so I'm going to try to get this in quick. As far as wrap up, thanks for everybody. Thanks for joining us, Danielle. I want to get right into the discussion.
Yes, we do have a barking dog. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and allow all of you to talk. And we are looking for a lively discussion, questions, comments. So I'm just making my way down the list here. And please feel free to ask a question, make a comment, ask the panelists something.
So while you're possibly unmuting people, I want to go back to one of the things that Danielle talked about was the customer bill of rights, and it's something that we think is important. But I want you to maybe go back there and just maybe talk a little bit about why that's important, why it's important to customers, and you know, I don't know if that's something that you guys are interested in, but that's something that I thought might warrant a little bit of a discussion. So of course, throw any questions your way, and then while we have Danielle, let's throw some questions at her. But that's one thing that I might be interested in her speaking a little bit more towards.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think I could talk all day about not just the customer bill of rights, but really, you know, sort of the integrity and the way that we work with customers and how that's so unique in our industry. I come from a long background of ERP and made the decision to join Acumatica largely because of how we work with partners. Truthfully, I didn't know the bill of rights existed, but that was just an awesome thing to find. I share it with everybody who is remotely interested in Acumatica because you won't find that anywhere else. And, you know, when you go into a decision to partner with an ERP to implement a system, like I said, it's not an easy decision. It's not one you make lightly because you won't make a change easily, and you want it to be the right thing. Make sure that you are partnering with the right vendor, somebody that does look out for your best interests and puts in writing all of those things that are really critical to your business that you might not really think about. Access to your data, you know, cap on any kind of a release, no more than 3% year over year. We talk about customer support. So you have 2 layers of support with Acumatica. And certainly, you know, sort of your first line of support is Aqurus, but only a half step behind Aqurus is Acumatica at all times. Very accessible, not just myself, but an entire team of people. And we talk about that in the Bill of Rights. So, you know, it's one of those things now we've talked about for Acumatica. If you're looking at ERP, you know, consider those, you know, sort of questions, I guess, as you're trying to make a decision. And happy to elaborate on the Customer Bill of Rights with anybody, any of the points, but they're all really, you know, very deliberately chosen because they are pain points in the industry. Somebody who's been running ERP has experienced one or more or all of those pain points. And so we try to address those and get in front of it.
Well, I think, you know what I think, Danielle, I mean, I think Acumatica, you know, it was founded by people who are centralized from the different products, right? People who've come from Microsoft, Oracle, SAP, you know, the well-known represented products out there. And, you know, you have multiple brains that came together to build and create a unique product, right? I mean, when we talk about Acumatica, I've never heard, even, I know a lot of people that I've worked even in back in my old days in the SAP space, who now have migrated to the Acumatica channel and are like, this is just revolutionary. Like, you cannot compare this product to anything. And I think one of the biggest kickers for clients is the unlimited user platform. You know, enabling a lot of the business, the entire business, to use the ERP. But at the initial thought is, well, we don't want people in the warehouse accessing the ERP. You know, we don't want them, you know, manipulating our chart of accounts. And it's like, well, no, it's a role-based system. Right. And there's now no need to go and purchase additional components like timesheets or things like that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's such a critical point too, that it is unlimited user based. And the benefit there, you know, to put it mildly, is the ERP system you will get the full value out of the system. Anywhere else, you are really trying to buy as few users as possible, and you're not everybody has a user, so not everybody's using it, and it really kind of defeats the purpose of ERP, which is, you know, getting everything into a single database. So we want everyone, part-time, full-time, contract, office users, warehouse users, everybody using this system. And think about the impact that would have on your business if that were the case.
Yeah, and it allows you to have one source of the truth.
That's what I was just going to say. That goes back to Danielle's, one of her first points is you get to a meeting and you're all working from the same data versus discussing, well, where'd your answer come from? Where'd your data come from? Because we've all been in those calls. Like, well, no, I'm right. No, you're right. And you waste too much time trying to decide what is the right piece of data to move forward with your business.
That's right. Yeah. Business decisions are made much more quickly and much more accurately.
I want to talk a little bit more about technology. And I know that, so we've been involved with Acumatica for 10 years now. And at that time, it was a great product. It was cloud-based, web-based, and that was a little bit, well, a lot revolutionary in the time. Now, fast forward to today, I think the stat, and maybe Danielle, you can confirm this, that I think 74% of Acumatica dollars that get spent on its resources and its team, 74% are on the development side. And so what that means is that when we have new technologies such as, you know, AI, machine learning, and blockchain, IoT, those kinds of things, Acumatica is, you know, not just thinking about it or reacting to it, they're ahead of it. We were on a supply chain conference yesterday, so Samantha spoke at it, and it was an excellent event, and there was some really interesting blockchain examples, and you know, I'm going, I'd love to see an exact example of someone that's actually using blockchain in a supply chain. And what I think is cool is that how Acumatica can naturally start to support that. But maybe, Daniel, just share some ideas of what you see every day. I mean, we know that John Roskill, the CEO of Acumatica, he's a techie by heart, but maybe just share some thoughts of the kind of things that happen every day at Acumatica on the tech side.
Well, on the tech side, well, just every day, you know, one thing I will share, and it's a little bit in relation to this, is, you know, we get new hire announcements that are made every day. New people joining the Acumatica team, and they're all on the technical side. There are just a handful of people that are not on the R&D / support / development / anything side, other than we have a you know, a group of people that are in support of partners, of course, because that is so critical to us. But we don't work with customers directly. We feel that that is not the best customer experience, and it isn't. It is nowhere near the best customer experience. You will be far more successful working with Aqurus, who will understand your environment, understand your business, and guide you along the way. An ERP software vendor that doesn't do that and do that exclusively is, making choices, guiding you in ways that may not be right for your business because they can't possibly understand your business at the level of a partner. So yeah, it's what I will say also is this just fascinated me. Twice a year, the entire company shuts down and we do a survey of our customers. We ask them how happy they are. What do they like? What don't they like? We want to really understand. And we live and die by those results. And Aqurus and Murray and Samantha can attest to that, and Brenda as well. It is a big, important part of what we do is to reach out to our customers and understand how we can make improvements to the application. And so all of those resources that are in place today that we continue to hire are ones that will address any kind of usability issues quickly, and we don't let things, just kind of sit out there and agitate a customer. We really want to get to those quickly, and then, as Murray indicated, we really like to get ahead of things on a broader technology sense. We want to be cutting edge, if not bleeding edge, with regard to technology, and that's the world we live in.
And I think that kind of comes back to what we stand as an Acumatica partner. Murray's been doing this. We're one of the first Acumatica partners in Canada. A couple of them have trickled off in the past. We're the first in Western Canada. But I think we've been doing this for a long time. But I think the biggest thing that I feel Aqurus stands for is this is not a solution that, and I know the customers on the call can probably vouch for this. This is not a solution you're going to drop in and then just, run away from it and then 5 years later, we're going to have a discussion, right? This is something that we try to work with our clients on a daily basis. Do you need a dashboard? How can we make you more money? How can we optimize the system you have in place to make sure that you're being more efficient? And this is something that Murray brings up every single week in twice of our internal calls to ensure that we're doing and capitalizing off our customers' strengths so that they can actually be more efficient. Whether it's commerce, we know this is a huge thing. I also mentioned in the presentation yesterday, B2b Commerce. You don't have to sell jeans or candles or consumer trinkets. If you're selling industrial supplies, empower and leverage your customer base to have this efficiency to just be able to log in, see what your warehouse stock quantities are, be able to place orders directly, solve the problem of, can I get a copy of my last invoice? That's the biggest, that sucks for a lot of people out there. Empower your customers to be self-sufficient and let them really use your system because it's unlimited users, so they can also get a login to the customer portal. But I think we should probably be wrapping up here. We are at that 45-minute mark. I don't know, Brenda, Murray, and Danielle, if you guys have any closing thoughts, and we'll let everybody go, and hopefully they enjoyed their lunch today.
No, thanks, Sam. I think all of the comments have been, very valuable, and I think we're all really believers in the product, believers in Aqurus. I want to thank everyone who's joined us today. I hope you've got something out of this presentation. It will be posted to our YouTube channel for your viewing pleasure if you want to see it again. And I just want to thank everyone for coming and spending some time with us.
And if I could just say one more thing about Aqurus. I work with a number of partners. Aqurus is one of our longest standing partners, gold level, and really one of the most talented groups that we work with. Again, it's really kind of a great team that we make, I think, between Aqurus and Acumatica, and would welcome any feedback anybody has, any questions, anything that we at Acumatica can help with.
Oh, aren't you sweet, Danielle?
Yes, thanks, Danielle. It's been a great partnership, and along with our customers and with Acumatica. So we look forward to moving forward and delivering lots of great value every day. So thanks for joining. Thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll look forward to the next event here.
All right. Stay safe, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Great day.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.